In this lesson, we will learn how to add moving holds with weighted tangents. Let's go ahead and play the animation in this scene so you can see our UFO going through a warp hole. Well, not quite. It actually crashes before the warp hole has a chance to open. But thankfully, instead of adding any extra keys, we can go ahead and use weighted tangents to fix this. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this works. So we go ahead and grab our control and head back to our graph editor and perspective view. From there, I'll go ahead and focus in on the translate Y. Go ahead and press the F key. So we have a few ways of applying weighted tangency. We can, with the channel selected, head over to curves. I'll go ahead and tear this off because it's getting cut off in the video, but it's the last option, weighted tangents. Once we apply this, it doesn't matter if we have a key selected or our channel selected, it's going to apply weighted tangency to the entire function curve. So once we click on weighted tangents, you can see how our handles thicken. Now right now they're locked, meaning if we were to go ahead and grab our tangent handle, grab our move tool and start pulling at this, it's still going to be locked. So how do we free this tangency so we could start to stretch our tangent handle and fix the animation? Well, closing out of curves, we would then head over to our tangents menu and choose free tangent weight. Now, before we do this, let me show you another way we can apply weighted tangency and how we could also remove it. So if we were to go ahead and right-click to access the context menu in the graph editor, we can then go ahead and choose non-weighted tangents, and now the tangent reverts back to where it was before. We could also go to curves. Again, it's getting cut off in the video, but it's the second to last choice. Now, if you recall from our preferences, underneath animation, this is another way we can apply weighted tangency underneath the tangent section. Now, with my workflow, I don't like to apply weighted tangents until they're absolutely needed. I just don't like the weighted tangency on function curves that don't need weighted tangents. So if we do need weighted tangency, again, we know that we could just go to our graph editor and apply it instantly. But if we can work with our normal tangency, well, why not stick with that? That's just my personal workflow. You might find that weighted tangents work great for you all the time, and if that's the case, feel free to head over to your preferences and go ahead and turn that option on. All right, sweet. So again, we have a few ways of turning our weighting on and off. It's probably faster from the context menu here when we right-click inside of our workspace in the graph editor. So I'll go ahead and apply weighted tangents again. All right, so now it's time to free up our tangent weighting. So we can go to tangents and choose free tangent weight. When we do that, now we have access to stretch our tangency. Now, unlike weighted tangents that gets applied to the entire function curve, to all keys, you can see that when we use free tangent weight, it only gets applied to the selected key. So you can see here, this key on frame 60, it does not have a free tangent weight, whereas this one on frame 1 does have a free tangent weight. If you'd like to turn off free tangent weighting, you simply go ahead and right-click, and you would choose Lock Tangent Weight, or you can go to Tangents and lock it from here. Another way is to actually do this right here from our toolbar. We can go ahead and free our tangent weight, or we can go ahead and lock it down. The only thing we can't do is convert it to a non-weighted tangent. You can see we don't have access to do that from the toolbar, but no worries. We could just go ahead and right-click and choose non-weighted tangents. All right, so I'll go ahead and weight the tangent, and I'll also go ahead and free it. If you don't want to adjust the other half of your tangency, how would we tweak this to make sure only one side gets modified? Well, we already know that. We can go ahead and break our tangents. All right, sweet. So I've just broken the tangent on frame 1. I'll go ahead and press the F key to zoom in. And now let's say we go ahead and correct the animation. So I might adjust this divider, just bringing it down just a bit more, so we can see exactly what we need to do. And now watch this. When we grab the out tangent, we can now hold down Shift and start to drag. And as we do that, notice we're only adjusting the length of this and not the orientation of our tangency. So now it's just time to hit play and take a look at if this will correct the animation. All right, sweet. So there we have it. In no time at all, we've managed to tweak the timing without adding any extra keys. Instead, We simply weighted our tangents and we were good to go.